Hello everyone and welcome back to Bitcoin Tips. So today we're going to be talking about one of the best and highest paying Bitcoin cloud mining sites that I have personally been using for almost 5 years now with no issues, allowing you to build a passive income stream completely online from any device that connects to the internet. So before we dive into the video, I do want to mention one small change in my YouTube videos here. You will notice that there are small breaks throughout the video. This is due to some changes coming on the YouTube platform. I will link a video in the description that I made specifically about this, but check that out if you want to learn more. And I always like to start off here on CoinMarketCap, just taking a quick look at what's going on in the crypto markets as a point of reference if you happen to be watching this video in the future. So if you aren't interested in this video, or this portion of the video, feel free to skip ahead 1 to 2 minutes and we'll be getting into the site then. But overall, as you can see, crypto is slightly up today, just about 1.6% to a total market cap of $2.85 trillion. We've seen a lot of fluctuation in just the last few days where Bitcoin, crypto as a whole really was down, spiked up from some news, and then, kind of fell back down, and now we're actually headed back up a little bit. Of course, we're not seeing any new all-time highs, which I think a lot of people are really waiting and holding on to see those new all-time highs, but at this time I think it's just going to be a waiting game, and really that works in our favor here. With a lot of the sites that I look at here on Bitcoin Tips, the more you can collect in these down periods, the more it'll work in your favor when prices do start to go back up. So if you're like most of us here in crypto that are just waiting for crypto prices to go up, using sites like these can really help boost that earnings as the prices go up. So today we're taking a look at ECOS. Now, if you've been around on my channel before, you'll know that I've used this site for several years, and it's worked really well. This is one of the best cloud mining sites I've used in a long time. I would say it's in the top 3 sites that I've used in my entire time in crypto. Now, of course, with cloud mining, it gets a little bit of a bad rap. Really, for that is there's been a lot of scams. So I want to start by saying this site, well, I've personally used it, and as you can see, I have about 47 terahashes mining right now. I've used this for a long time, and I've gotten paid several times from it, but that does not mean that this is not a scam. I think it's getting into that time where it's been around for a while. I think it's very trusted, and I'm obviously making a video about it, so I do believe that it is a trusted site. But things change all the time. Whether this is legit doesn't mean that it can't just go out of business due to crypto changes. We've seen that with a lot of other sites as well. So with that being said, if you are interested in checking it out, the link's in the description below. As you can see here, I have 47.3 terahashes, mining about 8,300 satoshis per day. So definitely a pretty good income based off that terahash, and you can see this is the total amount of Bitcoin that I've mined over the course of the contracts. They do also have a few other options to mine. They also have purchase ASICs with hosting, which this is obviously a little bit more expensive, where you purchase the entire machine and then they host it at their data center, and you pay some fees, of course, but you own the machine. So that starts around just under $3,000. So definitely a little bit more of an expensive investment. They do have rent ASICs with hosting, so these are renting out entire ASICs from other people, where that's a little bit cheaper. The reason that this is different from the cloud mining contract is you have to get the whole thing, so it is definitely more expensive, whereas the cloud mining contract, which we'll look at in just a second, does allow you to start out a little bit lower in terms of an investment value. But here, you also have the buy and sell used ASICs, so if you're looking to buy, or maybe you even have an ASIC sitting on your shelf, you can list it out here and get some crypto for it. But of course, I'm only looking at the cloud mining section today. I do like to mention those since they are cool features. I've never used any of those 3, so I can't give a really honest review on them, but based off the cloud mining contract section, I think they'd probably be a pretty decent option. So if we come over here to the buy contract section for cloud mining, you can see that there's a few different machines here that you can kind of weigh the pros and cons in what you're looking for. You can see the price per terahash does change. The service fee also changes. So essentially this S21 with 188 terahashes has a very low price per terahash per day, which is about 1.6 cents. Versus, say, this S21 with 270 terahashes has a 2.1 cent per terahash day price. But the service fee is a little bit lower. So you kind of get to weigh those pros and cons. They do offer you 4 choices at the time of recording. And then they do have some featured contracts down here as well. You can see their quick kind of percentages, but I do want to say with this site, the one thing I really don't like about the site is the way they show their return on investment. I'll talk about that here in just a second, as we get a pop-up saying there is a spring sale. So there you go. If you're thinking of investing, take advantage of this. But we'll talk about that return in just a second on the next screen. So overall, you can see here for $150, it's basically giving you this net output of $332. To keep things simple, I'm going to go ahead and just look at this specific one here. So where you don't have to compare all of these, because as you can see, there's a 334 here, 328, different values. So let's just say $150 is what you're going to go ahead and invest. You're not getting any bonus terahash, which as you go ahead and start adding value, you do get a little bit of a bonus on top of what you're getting. So if you are thinking of doing a large investment, that is something to consider as well. But as I was saying here, the reason I really don't like the way they do their net output and kind of return on investment calculations is this slider right at the top, the BTC price forecast. So essentially, this calculates the return. Right now, it auto set to $120,000 for one Bitcoin. But as we saw here, Bitcoin is right around $87,000. So if you want a more accurate value, I would always recommend setting it as close to the current Bitcoin price as possible. Now, if you've been in crypto for a while, you know that Bitcoin is never going to stay the same price. It could drop by 10%, it could go up by 10%. So with that being said, when you do start to look at these, this one that showed, a very good return before actually loses money now, where you'd want to start looking at some of these other ones. Now, this is of course just if Bitcoin stayed at $87,000. If you fully believed that Bitcoin was going to get all the way back to $100,000 or just above in this case, which I personally do, then set it to $100,000. But remember that these numbers are based on Bitcoin being $100,000 when the contract ends. So it's a weird way of calculating that return, but I always recommend just set it as close to as possible, and that way you don't miss out on any weird calculations causing you to think you might be doing better. So as you can see here, for the $150, this gets you a 5.16 terahash rate for 60 months. The service fee being set at about 3.8 cents. That again does change depending on the machine you go with. And I do want to mention here they have a few different ways to pay for these, such as a regular Visa or MasterCard. They do have an invoice option, although I don't know how it exactly works. So, use at your own risk. And then they, of course, have crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDC on the Ethereum chain. They do have USDT, XRP, Cardano, Doge, and Tron as well. So definitely, a very good amount of payment options. But overall, that is really the majority of the cloud mining section. Again, I've withdrawn from this site several times. It's worked out really, really well in the past for me. I, again, wouldn't be recording a video on this if I didn't think it was one of the best cloud mining sites on the market today. But of course, with cloud mining, there's always risk involved, so please do your own research beyond just this video. If you do have any questions or comments about this site, feel free to leave a comment down below. Always happy to help try and troubleshoot, answer questions, and help you make the best decision for your situation. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please consider hitting the subscribe button and liking this video. It really does help out and allow us to provide these videos here for you on YouTube for free. And if you're looking to support us a little further, we do also have the super thanks and channel membership, which of course any support in that area is greatly appreciated. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.